Good evening, everyone, especially to you, Sir Christopher Bamba. I am Velma Kim Sunampo, and in this video, I'm going to discuss about the age of Shakespeare. So, William Shakespeare. Above all other dramatists stands William Shakespeare, a supreme genius whom it is impossible to characterize briefly. Shakespeare is unequaled as poet and intellect, but he remains elusive. His capacity for assimilation, what the poet John Keats called his negative capability, means that his work is comprehensively accommodating. Every attitude or ideology finds its resemblance there, yet also finds itself subject to criticism and interrogation. So, we already familiar with William Shakespeare because he is so famous author, writer, especially his famous plays or work, the title Romeo and Juliet, which the theme is the love and tragedy. Okay, next. In part, Shakespeare achieved this by the total cohesiveness of his aesthetic, by putting clowns in his tragedies and kings in his comedies, juxtaposing public and private, and mingling the artful with the spontaneous. His plays imitate the counterchange of values occurring at large in his society. The sureness and profound popularity of his taste enabled him to lead the English Renaissance without privileging or prejudicing any one of its divergent aspects. While he, as actor, dramatist, and shareholder in the Lord Chamberlain's Players, was involved in the Elizabethan theatre at every level. His career dated from 1589 to 1613, corresponded exactly to the period of greatest literary flourishing, and only in his work are the total possibilities of the Renaissance fully realized. Next, now let's go to the contributions and works of William Shakespeare. So, as we have all know, there are lots of works by William Shakespeare. Aside from the Romeo and Juliet, the Macbeth, the Midsummer's Night Dream, kato mga example, mga works ni William Shakespeare nga kato mo yung marag mas na well known kay mga famous, but napa siya daghan na works. Okay, sa comedies we have All Will That Ends Well, As You Like It, The Comedy of Errors, Love's Labour's Lost, Measure for Measure, The Merchant of Venice, The Merry Wives of Windsor, A Midsummer Night's Dream, Much Ado About Nothing, The Taming of the Shrew, Twelfth Night, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, and lastly, The Two Noble Kinsmen. Now, in the histories, we have Henry IV Part 1, Henry IV Part 2, Henry V, Henry VI Part 1, Henry VI Part 2, Henry VI Part 3, Henry VIII, King John, Richard II, and Richard III. So that is the histories. Next, we have tragedy. Antony and Cleopatra, the Hamlet, the King Lear, Othello, the Demon of Athens, Titus Andronicus, Julius and Cressida, Coriolanus, Julius Caesar, Macbeth, and lastly, the most famous plays of William Shakespeare is the Romeo and Juliet. Now let's move forward to the romances. We have Cymbeline, Pericles, The Tempest, and The Winter's Tale. And for the poems, we have Lucrece, The Phoenix and Turtle, Venus and Adonis, and lastly, we have sonnets. And that would be all the genres of works by William Shakespeare. Now let's move forward to the Shakespearean sonnets. Shakespeare's sonnets are written predominantly in a metrical iambic pentameter, a rhyme scheme in which each sonnet line consists of 10 syllables. The syllables are divided into 5 pairs called iambs or iambic feet. An iamb is a metrical unit made up of one stressed syllable followed by one stressed syllable. So, mano siyang an iamb symmetrical unit. Nagkuhan siya og unstressed syllable og one stressed syllable. Okay? An example of an iamb would be goodbye. A line of iambic pentameter flows like this. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. So, this is 10 syllables with a unstressed and then stressed pattern group into 5 units. So, as you can see, the examples na just siya unstressed and stressed pattern. Then, ito nga siya kalima ka units na anang babom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Muna siya itong 5 ka units. Unya, kaning ba boom, muna siya ang stress o unstress. So, muna yung example sa an iamb. And now, here are some examples from the sonnets. Kaning, when I do count the clock that tells the time, when in disgrace with fortune and men's eyes, I alone beweep my outcast state. So, this last, kaning, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Sonnet 18. So, kaning last na example, kaning Sonnet 18 is, memorize ni nato sa subject ni Ma'am Kat. Sonnet 18. Okay. Lastly, Shakespeare's plays are also written primarily in iambic pentameter, but the lines are unrhymed and not grouped into stanzas. Unrhymed iambic pentameter is called blank verse. It should not be noted that there are also many prose passages in Shakespeare's plays in some lines of trochaic tetrameter, such as the witches' speeches in Macbeth. So, that would be all my discussion about the age of Shakespeare and the Shakespearean sonnets. So, thank you for watching and listening, everyone.